Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. This is the Virtual Touring Car Cup round number 3 here at Norfolk's finest of Snetterton. We're going to go now race cars. Not many people outside of Norfolk will know what the hell I just said. Never mind, we move on. Right then, we have got 23 drivers currently in the lobby. I believe a few more are on their way. So we will have a decent sized grid with some new names mixed in there as well. Oh, just as I say that, driver number 24 just appeared. Lovely. Right, for those that are new to the series, let's have a run through, or indeed those that have seen the series up to now. We welcome you all, and fresh faces and racing aces alike. Let's have a run through today's lineup then. If my slideshow is going to do as it's told, which it seems it doesn't want to do. Lovely, there's a good start. Oh, there we go, it lives. Apologies for that. Right, so then we have 3 races per round. Races 1 and 3 will be preceded by a 15-minute qualifying session. The weather is set to the weather as of the day in question, which in this case is today. So I suspect it's going to be rather dry, unlike the introduction sequence. So what you see in the intro sequence doesn't necessarily mean that's what it's going to be come race day. So races 1 and 3 are preceded by a 15-minute qualifying session, and race 2 is a random grid. We are heading to the lobby for the first qualifying session as I speak, with 24 drivers in hand. Hopefully, I believe there's one more that may well join us. So results from all 3 races will determine an overall event standings. Championship points are awarded based on those event standings. Bonus point for pole and bonus point for fastest lap. And our drivers are allowed to use any car from the touring car class, of which there are 4. A BMW, the Renault, the Astra, and the Mercedes. Here is our lineup after 2 rounds. Our championship standings in the Pro class. Our drivers are split into the Pro and Am categories. Alex Jameson leading the way fairly conclusively with 34 points. Then Carl Benson on 24, with Gary Cooper on 16, Jay Daniels 15, Toby Owen on 14, Miles Dixon and Alexander Rhodes on 8, Matt Charrington and Ollie Sy on 4, along with Birthday Boy. What a beard. That's a wonderful beard we see on McRae Williams there. Also on 4 points. Our AM standings as they currently sit, with Colin Dunn leading the way on 28, then Chris Callahan on 23, Mark Holmes on 21, Kev Straw, one of the few Merc runners, in 4th position on 14, then David Garside on 13, Matt Webb on 12, Simon Williams on 9, and Brendan. Now, I've had some tuition on how to say his name, and I apologise if I have got it wrong in the past. I am told it is Van Heeden, as opposed to Van Eden as I've been pronouncing it, so Brendan Van Heeden on 4 points and Adam Davies on 3. That's the full lineup, with everybody that hasn't yet scored points. For instance, Nick Bailey in the class, in the Pro class, not on the list that we have just seen. A few new names in there as well. Sean Morton in our AM class. Adam Bent has joined us. He's the other Merc runner in this series. So there'll be a few names we have not seen yet. These are our featured drivers. As a reminder, we have different featured drivers in each round that will hopefully cast some information on. I haven't actually had any information about our drivers, I don't think. I'll have to recheck my notes. But our featured drivers are Jay Daniels, Kev Straw and Ollie Sy. This is the calendar. 8 rounds in all, including the interesting round in the middle at Silverstone with the classic Mercedes. So we're on round number 3 at Snetterton. Only one of these races is not going to be run live because I'm sadly not available. That is round number 6, but we will deal with that as and when. Right then, let's head trackside, shall we? Down we go to the field. Let's see who is out there. Most people are out there. Just Toby Owen is the only one that isn't, oddly. Jack Dan, that's another name we didn't mention throughout the introduction sequence. There he is in the Renault. And again, oops, that's a tad deep, sir. That's not the ideal way of coming into the hairpin. Now, admittedly, Snetterton is a track I'm not overly familiar with from a commentary perspective. I have raced here once or twice, of course in the virtual world. And I'm aware that all the corners have names, so I will do my best to get the corner names correct. Ollie Sy out there in the BMW. Welcome back to you. Whoa, that's David Garside giving it plenty of welly through Riches. Turn number 1. His distinctive white and blue Renault as he's coming up to Kev Straw. I believe that is in the Silver Merc. Oh, that's way too deep. Way too deep. He's letting people through, I suspect. Rather busy field. Look at that. That's the overview that we have got. Here's a new name. Well, it's not new to me. This is actually a name I am very familiar with. I have commentated on this individual pretty much my entire sim racing commentary lifetime. He goes by the name of Andrix. His name is Andrew Gillone. So welcome to you, my good friend. Glad to have you on board. Here's another new name. S. Morty. I'm actually going to have to consult my notes on his name, as silly me, I have actually forgotten. It is Sean Morty. Yes, I did mention him in the pre-race build-up, and then subsequently forgot his name. Well done, me. Goodness me, I go through all the prep work, and then my Windows decides it's going to misbehave. I apologise. Gummy Bear, now that is Brendan Van Heeden. Hopefully, I won't keep mixing him up with rank drop, which is Carl Benson. Oh, we've just lost one from the lobby. Hopefully, he'll be able to reappear. Mark Holmes in the Astra. Matt Webb, Renault. He's in the plain AM class, I think that is. The red flash along the top indicating the AM category. Now, not everybody has a custom livery. If they don't, they run the plain white. Oops, no, that's too deep. That's so easy to do down there at Murray's. It's really difficult braking zone. Coming off of Coram, which is that long right-hander. You just see in the background. Trying to brake and turn at the same time for that final turn. I've gone the wrong way through the list. Nick Beatty. I love that livery. I actually really like most of the custom liveries. That one in particular. Really nice one. Scuzzle Motorsport. John Nobbs in the traditional BMW colouring. We've got some people getting some times on the board. Now, I did do some practice sessions with Carl. Carl Benson hosted a few practice sessions this week. And let's just say I am nowhere near, well, that's not a surprise, I've never been anywhere near Andrew's pace, and straight away bangs in a 53.2, gets the tail lovely wagging in that BMW. That is Gary Cooper, been one of our mainstays in the top of the field. Oh yes, I recognise the car behind him. I've forgotten who it is though. Oh, Alex Jameson, what a surprise to see you at the top of the list again in the M Sport coloured BMW, but he may well have some competition from my good friend Mr. Gillone. We will see. There is rank dropper, there is Carl Benson. I'm trying to remember, he did give me an alternative name to call him by, and it's on the tip of my tongue, the Baptizer. Because in his picture in the championship standings, he's actually in a baptism pool. That's why he stood there very soggy. Again, apologies if I mentioned that previously. John Nobbs up to 5th position, 54.9. Oh, that's Toby Owen with a 53.5. That's a cracker. That is a belting lap. Fair play, Toby Owen. I was in the 55 range, so I'd have been at the current standings around about 8th or 9th. Ooh, bit of a lock-up there coming into Montreal. Miles Dixon, welcome to you. I believe Miles joined us last week, if I recall correctly. He's in the plain Renault, currently sits in 7th position with a 54.9. As another reminder, this is open setup, so they're not default, as we had in the Interclub Championship. Sienna Viper is Adam Davies. That's a good-looking car. There was another name I was aiming for. Oh, look at that. 53.4 at the top of the tree, or near the top of the tree, by Mr. Van Heeden. Actually displaces Alex. Now, Alex was saying he was not particularly... he was saying he was not particularly happy with his performance in the practice sessions and still went on to beat us in every practice race we ran with him. Does he improve? 53. Of course he does. A 52.960, the first man into the 52s to take the fastest lap of the session by 2.5 tenths from Andrew Gillone. As he's coming up to Montreal himself. Toby Owen still in fourth position with a 53.5, so the field is still pretty close together. I'm running through the list. Of course, I was a little bit late getting to the getting through everyone's name. There's Jay Daniels in that blue and orange coloured Renault, which is very, very close actually to the car that he runs. If we, looking at the featured driver list, of which he is one of, that's actually really close. It's not exactly the same patterning, but certainly the same colour scheme of the car he runs in real life, or has run in previously. Alex Rhodes, who was a featured driver last time out, and I can't, as much as it's a great colour scheme, I keep thinking it's blood splattered. Does he improve? 55.8, he remains in 12th position. Chris Callahan, welcome back to you. I believe that's Ollie Sy, that's in the blue and green BMW ahead of him. We'll know when we get there. There is Matt Webb. He's still running the plain Renault in 14th position at 56.5. Mark Holmes is in the pit, as is Kev Straw. There is Ollie Sy. No, I got that completely wrong. He's in the white. He's in the white Beamer with the blue flash down the line. It's McCrane Williams' birthday today, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm sure you will join me in wishing him a very happy birthday in that lovely minty flavoured Renault. Sean Morty, newcomer to the series. In the Renault. Oops, that's... who was that getting that all wrong? Oh, of course, it's Colin Dunn from Fishwick Motorsports. It's such a great livery on that car. Down in 20th, A59, 7 on the board. Simon Williams, he was the Astra that was getting that wrong at Murray's. Jack Dan has not got a time on the board yet. I think Jack Dan may well have been one of the drivers that left the session and reappeared. And David Garside, oh dear, someone parked up. David Garside's had an argument with something very, very, very solid. So, yeah, the day's not gone well for Mr. Garside. Whoa! Alex Jameson getting the tail to really let go. Coming through Hamilton. We go cockpit view. As I say, that's not a cockpit view. We've just had someone join us. There's another new name. Now, of course, that doesn't read right. AMB. I don't know whether there's a relevance of 28th of July 2001, but this is Adam Bent. He's inquired about joining us after the first race. Actually, same race that my good friend Mr. Gillone did. And Adam Bent joins us in the Mercedes. Oh, we've lost one. That's Jack Dan again. Jack Dan is having some connection problems. He's only got a couple of minutes to resolve. It sounds like Andrew's slowing down a little bit. Let's ride with him. Now, you could accuse me, I know why the camera's wrong for the cockpit. It's because I've messed about. Let's go on the bonnet view then. Let's have a hot lap with Mr. Gillone. It wouldn't be the first time I've done this. I know that Andrew is a very, very fast driver. Down towards Riches. Throw the nose of the car in and stamp on the gas. And it will carry, wow, using every available inch of track that is available down through the gears for the Montreal hairpin. Nicely done. Someone is spitting fire behind him. Into Palmer. Slightly off camber. Quite a blind turn. Very, very tricky to get right. Now Agostini. Down through the gears. Oh, that's quite deep, but you can get away with that because that can help your exit speed from that turn. Now Hamilton, a little bit of a lift and straight back on the gas. This is where we saw Alex Jameson getting very, very sideways earlier on. Oggies. Now this is this is an area I can't get right. This is Williams' turn, and yeah, Andrew doing his traditional throw it in and stamp on the gas method. We're getting the BMW to behave itself now. The Bentley straight. That is a really tricky corner to get right. I struggle there. Now, Brundle and Nelson, this left-hander is Brundle. It's really, really difficult to get this right because you're trying to turn and brake at the same time, and there was a massive sausage curb on top of the Nelson turn. This is referred to as the bomb hole. I will call it the crater because I absolutely refuse to call it such. So that is crater turn. This is Coram, or Coram. I've never quite known how to get this one right. Now, Andrews was feathering the throttle and just trying to get the car to naturally lose speed. As, wow, Mr. Van Heeden is now up to second with a 53.1 on the board. Nicely done. Can Andrew improve? He does not. He does not improve on that run. Where is Mr. Daniels? He's one of our featured. There he is. He's just coming to Murray's. Because I don't know how or if the front-wheel drives find that awkward braking zone any easier than the rear-wheel drive cars do. He's just coming down to the line. 55.312 on the board for Jay Daniels. Oh, he's an improvement there. 54.240 jumps him up to 9th. There's Alex Rhodes coming out of the pits. And it looks like Adam Davies is having an argument with the track limits. Jameson is back out on track to try and improve on his already stunning lap time of 52.9 coming through Murray's. Such a tricky corner to get right. Snetterton, as much as it's a great circuit, is a very difficult one to master. 52.960, no improvement. Here's a final hot lap as we have just over a minute to go. There is Mr. Gillone. Who's he chasing? He's chasing the blue and green BMW. There's, oh, steady Mercedes. That's Kev Straw. As we look at Carl Benson. Patriotic Union Jack on the roof of the Renault. He's on the back straight, or Bentley straight I should call it. Getting ready to sweep through Brundle and into Nelson. Look at the size of that sausage curb. It's very unforgiving. I can assure you, I've hit it many, many times. 30 seconds, or less than 30 seconds to go. Toby Owen is back in the pits. He can do no more. 53.8 in 5th position. John Nobbs, 53.6. Great time there in 6th position. Gary Cooper in 7th. A 53.7 on the board for him. There's Miles Dixon. He is going through Oggies at the moment. Nicely done. Try and wrestle it through. We've lost another from the session. That's a shame. Whoever that was will not be able to return before the session is finished. And that's Miles off. He will not do any more. 54.0. We'll see him start no higher than 8th position. There is Jay Daniels coming over the line along with one of the plainclothes Renaults. Did Jay improve? 54.2 remains his time. And the checkered flag is out, awaiting all those on track. Jay's already crossed the line. Nick Bailey. Oh, that's deep. That's deep. He can continue. But it'll be a struggle for Nick Bailey to improve. Decent time though. 54.375 has, as always, the field very, very close. Chris Callahan. Oh, get it to rotate. And Jameson improved his lap time to a 52.2. Dear God, man, have a heart. Show some sympathy. Absolutely superb time from Jameson. That looks like... Oh no, he's on the back straight. I thought he'd backed off there. Had Andrew Gillone. And he is continuing. He's still pressing on. Who's still on the lap? Nick. Well, he's still going, but I'd say his lap is pretty much done with how deep he went. Whoa! Yeah, you are not going to make it through Murray's like that. Ollie Sayer's done. 57.0. Will not start higher than 16th. Along with Sean Morty, he will not start any higher than 17th. Here comes Colin Dunn. Front runner in the AM category at the moment. 57.977 would see him start 20th. Can he improve? Do or die, all or nothing, feast or famine for the blue and green Beamer. It is not an improvement in position. So Jay Daniels is not moving. Is anyone else still on the lap? I don't think anybody else is. No, and that is the qualifying done. So the point for pole, no one is surprised to see it's Alex Jameson by nearly 9/10 of a second. Unreal. He's finally half a second in that last sector alone. So Alex Jameson and Brendan Van Heeden on that front row. Great effort there. The South Africans locking out the front row. Then it is newcomer Andrew... I've forgotten already. Gillone. I nearly said Benson. Again, I'm muddling up the surnames. I'm so sorry. It's been a long day. So Andrew Gillone and Carl Benson take on row 2. Toby Owen and John Nobbs, row 3. Gary Cooper and Miles Dixon, row 4. Jay Daniels, Nick Bailey, row 5. As we now switch to the actual starting grid. So we got to row 5. There's Nick Bailey. Then it is Adam Davies and Chris Callahan taking on row 6. Alex Rhodes and Matt Webb take on row 7. Then it is Mark Holmes and Ollie Sy in row 8. Sean Morty and Kev Straw in row 9. Birthday Boy McRae Williams and Colin Dunn row 10. Another tail of the field is Simon Adams and Adam Bent. So as Adam Bent has just commented in chat, I found a wall. Yeah, there's a few of them, and you will tend to lose that argument, sir. But it can only get better from there. Right, then. So this 2-minute session is for everybody to make any last-minute setup adjustments, load in their race setups, make any tweaks they feel like. As a reminder, it's open setups, so they're not fixed to the default ones that come with Project Cars 2. So allowed to make any adjustments that the car will allow them to do. And then it is 15 minutes of this race, which of course Alex Jameson looking to continue his winning ways. But once again, Brendan Van Heeden has been one of his main challenges, but has had some terrible luck trying to follow that through into race results. So let's see what he's able to do. But he's got new competition, particularly from this man. Now, I would admit that does sound a little biased, as I've known Mr. Gillone, but he's in third. So he's done it on performance, not just my say-so. And then it is Carl Benson, who again has, who could forget that amazing performance in Germany a few rounds ago. Never mind about that. We are getting ready to run. Here we go. Time to wind them up and let them go. Oh, that looks a steady. Oh, that's a terrible start from Jameson. Look at Gillone. Shot through on the inside, 4 wide. No, that can't go well. Huge incident. Oh, my goodness me. That is good. Can only go horribly, horribly wrong. Gillone leads. Jameson second. That is Benson in third. He's already looking for an inside manoeuvre coming up into Montreal. We'll catch up with those that crashed as soon as I possibly can. Oh, no. Unbelievable. It's Van Heeden again. Has been left on the line, it looks like. There is Adam Bent taking these very, very slowly. I'm not sure if he's been caught up in that early fracas. There's Sean Morty making his, minding his own business, but leading the way. He's got a lot of people chasing after him. Here's Andrew Gillone. Oh, that's Jameson really, really deep. And Agostini. Here comes. Oh my goodness, can Carl Benson do it? Not quite. If we go on board with Toby Owen, you'll see the battle for second. Oh, Jameson's lost the tail. That's surely an opportunity for Benson. Woo, as Toby Owen nearly slams into the back of the BMW of Alex Jameson. Well. Jameson's got it all to do. We've seen Jameson run off into the distance, but it's not often we see him having to fight his way there. We've seen him do it, in the reverse grid races, but here he's got Benson ahead of him. He's got a bit of slipstream now. He's going to have the inside line for Brundle as we stay on board with Toby Owen, who's watching the proceedings, the BMW alongside the Renault, and Carl Benson's backed out of that one as Toby Owen slams into the back of Benson. Oh no, Jameson is half spun. Can he get going? He's going to lose a lot of positions as a result of that small impact. Oh, and there's Nick Bailey coming through into 6th position, but he's gone wide. Oh my goodness. Lots of people bouncing there, it looked like. Oh my goodness, the physics having an absolute field day. But look at this. Newcomer Andrew Gillone is now 3 seconds in the lead of Toby Owen, who's worked his way through the chaos. Miles Dixon. What a cracking start for Miles. Jameson now has got his teammate John Nobbs right behind him. It didn't look like there was any damage on the BMW. On board now with Nick Bailey coming into riches for the second time in anger. The BMW is getting very, very quickly behind ahead of the Renault of Nick Bailey. Very, very tight field. Oh, there's Gary Cooper diving on the inside of, I think, He's having I think he was having to go with Nick Bailey there, but he was defending from Adam Davies. Didn't quite see who he was having to go at. I think he was more defending from Adam Davies, I think, in hindsight. There is Callahan leading Jay Daniels, who's got Matt Webb, and then it is... Oh, Carl Benson's fallen all the way down to 12th. Oh, what a shame. Tangled up with Alex Jameson, finds himself way down into the midfield. Ollie Scythe, 13th. As we're already seeing... Oh, was that someone off the road? It's Gary Cooper! Oh, no, I thought this was... Oh, that's Jay Daniels! Jay Daniels, massive impact there! Oh, my goodness. Huge incident. Alex Rhodes is caught up in there, I think. No, he's still going. Oh, my days. Back up front. Gillo leads by 3 points. The time fluctuates with the braking zone. Oh, Mars Dixon has just made a move on Toby Owen for second place as Toby. Now, you've just seen how nasty that sausage curb is. Alex Jameson is now back up into third position with that mistake from Owen. But you look at the lap times. Look at the time he's losing. 2 minutes flat for Gillo. He's out there on his own. Jameson chases Dixon. Nobbs chases Toby Owen. And Nick Bailey right there, ready to pick up the pieces for anybody that it goes wrong for. Oh, look at Jameson on Miles Dixon. Can't quite commit to the move. Piles on the pressure to the newcomer. I say newcomer because I know nothing about Miles Dixon, admittedly. Miles wasn't with us for the Interclub Championship. Whoa, Nick Bailey having a go at John Nobbs on the inside of Montreal. Oh, John Nobbs tries to give him a bit of a punch in the face. Gets the inside line for Palmer, but loses out of the position. Doesn't get the momentum. And Nick Bailey now up into 5th position. Toby Owen now in a little bit of a gap between himself and the war for second. Oh, Dixon's gone a little bit deep, but Jameson can't capitalise on it. Now the representative lap times coming in. Jameson, he's trying... Oh, he thought about a move on the inside of Oggies, but decided against it. Did not want to send Miles flying off into the dust. He's going to try and bide his time here. Oh, that looked like Nobbs and Nick Bailey. They were side by side coming through Williams. That's not having any of it. That's allowing Adam Davies to close in on now. Look at that. John Nobbs staying in the tyre tracks of Nick Bailey exactly as he should. Oh, looks like Nobbs is going to have a go. But no, does not commit to the move. Probably quite wise. There's such an awkward braking zone. Comes through Brundle and Nelson. Well, PK, we all know what he's talking about. That's Nick Bailey. Is he not had a good run? No, he's carrying on. Oh no, Van Heeden in the pits. Such a shame. And Jameson is through into second. Didn't see the manoeuvre happen. Apologies for that, but he has gone through into second position. Oh no, Dixon's lost another position. Toby Owen's now through into third. But he's not giving up on it, lurking right behind them. Oh, 3 wide coming into Riches. Oh, it looks like they all sorted that out just about in time. Bailey stays ahead of Nobbs and Adam Davies right in there as well. That 3-way battle for 5th position rages on, and there's Gary Cooper trying to make up some lost time after him flying off the road down at Oggies a few laps ago. There we also see Chris Callahan and Carl Benson, Matt Webb as well. Great train here of people jostling for position. I was told that Snetterton is one that will give us a lot of excellent racing, and by no means were we disappointed. There's Alex Rhodes on the back of Ollie Sy for 12th position further down. Colin Dunn challenging birthday boy McRae Williams. I might mention that a few times. Jay Daniels. Oh, there's the background. Oh, that was Simon Adams. Simon Williams, I beg your pardon. Oh, that's... well, I mean, it does look like that Van Heeden is right in the pack. Sadly, he's a lap down. Now, normal rules will apply that he is allowed to unlap himself as long as he does not affect those he is trying to unlap himself from. Look at this! Nobbs, Bailey, Adams and Cooper all in this train. And not far ahead of the train is Miles Dixon either. Oh, there's a huge tank stabber for Adams. Simon Adams has gone off the road. Can't see him in this camera angle. Cameraman's lost. That's allowing quite a few people to go through if we go on board with Matt Webb. Whoa, goodness me. Benson and Callahan having an argument over at the crater. Now still side by side through Coram. No, they have figured that one out between themselves. Goodness me. Whoa! Benson! I think he got rather caught out there. It looked like Callahan was braking a tad earlier than Benson was expecting. There looks like they're going to be sizing up a 3 wide coming down towards the first turn. Goodness me. Not quite, but Carl Benson, I doubted myself there, got the run on Chris Callahan. Here comes Matt Webb. It looks like he's going to get the run on Callahan as well. Goes to the inside line, coming up towards Montreal. Can he get the move done? Yes, he can. Can he slow it down, though? Not quite. Callahan's going to cut back underneath him. Carl Benson. Oh, trouble in the background. That's Alex Rhodes. Oh, huge damage. Look at that. The front of Adam Davies' car is mullered. I'm not sure that was it didn't look that big an impact with the BMWs. I think he's done that, most of that damage somewhere else. Look at this lot, though. So back up to this particular pack. And that is Toby Owen. So Toby Owen now leads this train. Owen, Nobbs, Bailey, Cooper. All in this scrap. There is Benson, not far off the back of him either, with Webb and Callahan having their own argument for 9th position. Look from Gary Cooper. Oh, that's someone in trouble. Who is that? Oh, it was Miles Dixon. Miles Dixon in trouble. He could have had a slowdown warning, which would have prompted him to get out of the gas like that. That's a shame. Whoa, Nick Bailey caught that sausage going too hard. He's kept it on the black stuff, though. And you've got to think this is essentially a battle for third. This is a 4-race lead. Nick Bailey fending off Gary Cooper as they come through Coram. Now into Murray's. Oh, that's Nobbs. John Nobbs has gone too deep through Murray's. Has kept it going, though. That's going to cost him a bit of time. That's going to give Toby Owen some breathing space. Whew, goodness me. And amazingly, we have another 2 of these. Oh, lovely slide from John Nobbs. Oh, that's not such a lovely slide from Nick Bailey. Gary Cooper's gone through. Miles Dixon is starting to get back into his stride and really closes into the back of Nick Bailey. There's Carl Benson. Goodness me, I know there's plenty of other people to look at, but I daren't look away from this particular fight. I'm sure you'll agree. This is absolutely fabulous. Oh no, John Nobbs, as I've said that. I've often jested with him that, I'll target him. I genuinely don't mean him any ill. I've raced against John and lost against John many times, as I've mentioned. But that was a true case of commentator's curse. I wholeheartedly apologise. I will take responsibility for that one. But that's given Carl Benson 7th. Miles Dixon now up to 6th. He's having a go, and Nick Bailey on the inside of Oggies. He can't quite get it done, though. He's going to have the inside for Williams and then the long Bentley straight. Oh, Nick Bailey just about, and only just, hangs on to the outside of Williams and maintains 5th position. That's a view from Dixon. He isn't really going to get a slipstream effect there, as Gary Cooper is not far ahead of Nick Bailey. Miles went for a bit of an early apex there. Ooh, he's caught that sausage curve, pushed him a little wide, but he is carried on going. Further up front, Gellone still leads. His lead is shrinking, though. There in the background is the ever-present Alex Jameson. 55.2, not a great lap, comparatively speaking. Certainly better than I can do from Gellone, but he's lost about 1.5 seconds to Jameson. Alex Jameson once again doing Alex Jameson things, just getting into his stride and running off, but he's only got 3.5 minutes. What's that going to be? 2 laps at best, I'd have thought. This 4-way scrap continues. Toby Owen 3rd, Gary Cooper back up into 4th from spinning earlier on. Nick Bailey 5, Miles Dixon 6th, Carl Benson 7th. John Nobbs isn't far off the back of it in 8th position. Oh, look how close Dixon is to the back of Nick Bailey. Fantastic stuff. Through Palmer they go. Heading towards Agostini. Dixon still trying to find a way past Nick Bailey. Oh, is he starting to come in inside maneuver? Agostini, no. Oh, yes, he has. Oh, he's banzaied that one. Nick Bailey saw it coming. He came out of good room, but has led Miles to go too deep. Nick Bailey gets back on the inside. Hamilton. Oh, that's going to force both of them off the road. Here comes Benson. Benson's got Dixon. And he's managed to secure him before they get through. Oggie's brilliantly driven by Carl Benson. Oh, fantastic stuff. He's now right on the back of Nick Bailey himself. Nick Bailey's seen off one Renault. He's now got another one. Charging down the back straight. Benson's got the momentum. He's now drawn side by side with the Scuzzle Motorsports number 29. And he's even got the move done before they get to Brundle, but he's gone too deep. Oh, this could be impacted. It is indeed. Benson's round. He's managed to save it. Dixon's through. Nick Bailey wanders off the road a little bit. There is penalties. I haven't even looked at penalties yet. One for... Oh, Nick, where are you going? There goes Miles through into fifth position as Nick Bailey's doing a bit of exploring. Nick Bailey's got 8 seconds of penalties? How on earth have you managed that? 1 for Gary Cooper, 3 for Chris Callahan, 1 for Jay Daniels, 1 for Adam Bent, and 2 for Mark Holmes. Good. I had just not had a chance to look anywhere else other than this incredible battle. Dixon fending off. Oh my goodness, 3 wide into the first turn. He's never going to go well. Oh no, Bailey and Benson coming together. Here comes John Nobbs. He's dispatched of Benson. Oh, he's gone a bit deep. And Carl Benson gets back on the inside of the BMW, back up into 7th position. John Nobbs trying to find... Oh, don't be too impatient, John. It's not a very big braking zone down at the Palmer. But there's not much time left of this race. I would say Gillone, as long as he doesn't fly off the road, probably has just about enough lead to keep the mighty Alex Jameson at bay. Oh, we've lost another. Yeah, that's Van Heeden has gone. He was a lap down after all, so can't blame him for that. But here's Gary Cooper on the back of Toby Owen. That 3rd position may not be too secure just yet, but look at this lot, still having an argument over 5th place that currently is in the hands of Miles Dixon, who's been at the front, at the back, and now back at the front of this train. John Nobbs is essentially the odd one out. He's the only Beamer in the pack. The rest are Renaults. Not that John gives too much heed to that. Checkered flag is out. Miles Dixon is going to be mugged here. Benson on the outside of Brundle, inside for PK. Oh, how well driven for Carl Benson. What a great move. That was so well driven. But your winner for the first round is newcomer Andrew Gillone. Brilliantly done. Alex Jameson comes home in 2nd. Toby Owen. Can he fend off Gary Cooper? Oh, they're side by side. The red car, Gary Cooper, has gone ahead of Toby Owen. Gary Cooper's got penalties though, and that's going to give the position back to Toby Owen. Gary Cooper 4, Carl Benson with that 5th position. Miles Dixon 6, John Nobbs. Oh, something's happened to that particular pack as it's now completely spread out. John Nobbs comes over the line in 7th place. Matt Webb in 8th. Chris Callahan 9th. Although penalties are going to shuffle them around. Oh, John Nobbs, what's happened to you? You suddenly picked up penalties out of nowhere. 30 seconds? I suspect he might have that appealed. We didn't see how that happened. 30 seconds is a tad extreme for a single penalty. But at the moment, at least, Chris Callahan has 9th, Adam Davies 10, Colin Dunn 11th, Ollie Side 12, Jay Daniels 13, McRae Williams 14, Nick Bailey down in 15th after all that. But again, is that due to another monstrous penalty? No, that's his 8 seconds. That's the ones he built up. Oh, goodness me. Sean Morty in his first race here. John Nobbs is still falling through the field, amazingly. He's down to 17th now. Oh, goodness. Adam Bent in 18th. Sideman Adams 19th. Kevin Straw 20th. And Mark Holmes at the tail of the field. Wow, what a race. That was absolutely incredible. 2 drivers in the 53s. That was Andrew Gillone and Alex Jameson. So it looks like Jameson may well have some competition, or stronger competition indeed. He's had some competition leading up to now, but my goodness me, what a cracking effort there from Alex Gillone. So Gillone 1, Jameson 2, and Toby Owen take the podium. Then it's Cooper, Benson, Dixon, Webb, Rhodes, Callahan, Davies, Dunn, Side, Daniels, but it sounds very odd when you read out the names like that. Williams, Bailey, Morty, Nobbs, Bent, Williams, Straw, Holmes, and sadly retiring from the race was Van Heeden. My goodness me. If that doesn't whet your appetite, I don't know what will. Stick with us for round number 2. It is going to be rather amazing. We'll be back after about 3-minute break. We'll be back for round number 2. Again, remember, this is a random grid, so this should be fiery. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second race of this second round of the VTCC here at Snetterton, Norfolk's finest. Right then, so race number 2 is the random grid. Oh, is it? Because our host has forgotten to turn qualifying off. Oh dear. Well, at the moment we have a qualifying session. Well, they made... Okay, that's a problem. Okay, now it's my turn to have the technical difficulties. Oh dear, oh dear. So, apologies, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to double check on what's going on. The restart in the lobby. So I did wonder whether they would actually run the third race ahead of the second one. I have the 2 qualifying sessions back to back. But nope, they have opted to restart the lobby. So that means the background music will go back on. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Technical trouble befalls us all occasionally. We will be back with you as soon as we can. Right then, attempt number 2 of race number 2 of round number 2. Let's see how we get on this time, shall we? There we go. Random grid established. 24 drivers doth return. Okay, let's see who has qualified where for... I say qualified, who's been positioned where, I should say, for this round. Okay, so Mark Holmes and Kev Straw on the front row. Alex Rhodes and Toby Owen, row 2. Carl Benson, Colin Dunn, row 3. Andrew Gillone and Chris Callaghan, row 4. Simon Adams and Alex Jameson, row 5. Matt Webb. Yes, Matt Webb. Again, I don't know why I said Mark Webb. Apologies. And David Garside, row 6. John Nobbs and Sean Morton. Sorry. Row 7, Jay Daniels and Ollie Sy in row 8. Adam Davies and McRae Williams, row 9. Nick Bailey and Jack Dan, who wasn't with us first. Oh no, he had trouble, didn't he? He had connection issues first time around. In row 10, Gary Cooper and let's hope that Brendan Van Heeden, will get off the line properly this time. And Miles Dixon, it's a shame Miles is all the way back there. And Adam Bent. And the final row. Oh, that's a lot of pressure on Mark Holmes and Kev Straw. But here we go, nonetheless. It is time to get the show on the road for round number 2. It is time to wind them up and let them go. It's a fairly just look at Alex Rhodes. What a start from the second row as we're going 3 wide. There goes Colin Dunn sliding in behind Kev Straw and through the first turn, and it's Alex Rhodes up into the lead. Goodness me, that was a belting start from the BMW. Rhodes leads Holmes, leads Benson as that's very, very deep for Mark Holmes. Here comes Benson, Carl Benson, to try and take that second spot. He won't quite do it. Kev Straw, oh my goodness, that is Andrew Gillone, dives on the inside of Palmer, but gets the move done. He's up into 4th. Up into 2nd goes Carl Benson. Alex Rhodes hasn't managed to get far away. As nice move there from Benson. Up into 2nd. Holmes down to 3rd. There is Gillone. Already giving himself some distance. There's Jameson. Of course, he's had a cracking start from 10th to 5th. Oh, Kev Straw touching the dust, but Jameson giving the racing room. Kev Straw can go back at him. That's David Garside that's flown off the road. But does Jameson hold on to that spot? Yes, he does. Nicely done. Kev Straw in 6th place if the camera would move. Side by side with Toby Owen coming onto the Bentley straight. Owen just ahead of the Mercedes. Here comes John Nobbs. He's on a decent start as well. He's up into 8th as the Renault with the Merc touch. Oh, what a move from Nobbs. Can he get the pair of them before they get down to Brundle? Yes, he can. Can he slow it down? Great move from John Nobbs. He's now on the back of his teammate. Oh, big hit there. Goodness me, that was Straw being clouted. No, it wasn't Van Heeden. No, it was Mark Webb. Oh, wow, that was a big hit there. Oh, Carl Benson's in the lead. Apology, Carl, I didn't see it happen. Rhodes bounces off that apex. Here comes Gillone as well. He wants that third. Well, he's in that 3rd spot. He wants 2nd. Right behind them, Jameson has just got past Mark Holmes for 4th place. This is hotting up. The usual shuffling, the usual names getting into the usual spots as we come through Riches for the 2nd time in anger. Gary Cooper all the way down to the back with a penalty as well. Oh, that was John Nobbs sizing up a move going into Montreal. Can he get it done side by side with Holmes? Noses ahead, but hasn't quite got the move done. The Astra side by side with the BMW and Gary Cooper into the pits. Oh, ouch. That's a lot of damage to the red Renault. Benson leads Rhodes, who's got Andrew Gillone right on top of him. Tries to get the move done through Agostini, can't quite get through. Jameson chasing down, so it's a BMW 3-way fest going on there. 2nd, 3rd and 4th, actually 5th as well, because Nobbs is up into that 5th spot. Oh, look at Gillone. Andrew Gillone on the inside of Alex Rhodes for 2nd position. The camera's looking the wrong way, and he's got the move done by the time they get through Williams. But look at Jameson right now with Alex Rhodes and Andrew Gillone. Great battle for 2nd position. Lots of fighting going on everywhere. Here comes Jameson. I wonder whether Rhodes just backed out of that, because suddenly Jameson flew through and is now right on the tail of Andrew Gillone. A lot of A's going on in that particular part of the course. So Benson enjoying a 2.5 second lead at the moment up front in the Renault. Lots of jostling going on elsewhere, but I'm currently looking at Jameson getting very sideways through Coram. This is going to be an interesting run down towards Riches. Garside's got a penalty on the board. 3 drivers have. Cooper, Jack Dan, and now the fastest lap beginning to come in. A 53.2 for Jameson. 53.2, my goodness me, that was faster than he was last time. Oh, he's gone for a move on the inside of Montreal, but no. Doesn't commit to it. Behind him, Rhodes, Nobbs, and Owen. Battle for 10th going on between Nick Bailey. Well, there's battles everywhere going on, but again, concentrating at the moment on the battle for 2nd. Because I know as soon as I look away, Jameson is ready to make a move on Andrew Gillow. Absolutely amazing stuff. Gillow really having to defend very, very hard. It was a cracking start from Andrew last time around. That really helped secure the win as Jameson just completely bogged down. And by the time he got through the traffic, Andrew Gillow had gotten enough of a lead. Look how sideways Andrew Gillow was through that Williams turn. That is likely to give the momentum to Jameson. He's going to dive on the inside of Brundle. He's sizing up the move. He's got the overspeed to do it. Oh, Gillow's not going to make it easy for him. Stays on the line and gets the inside line for PK. I did it again. It's Nelson. Apologies there. Great move from Gillow. Kept his head and kept his position. Oh, the tail getting very, very lively on the BMW. Now sweeping through. There's lots of movement going on. I'm going to have to risk looking. Well, I don't have to risk looking away, but I want to have a look at the battles going on further down. There's a great big pack. Look at here. Look at this. Absolutely. This is a battle for 9th that is currently led by Miles Dixon, who's got Nick Bailey right on his... Oh, that's a bad turn of Murray's for Bailey. He's going to have David Garside having a go at him. Chris Callahan, Kev Straw, Jay Daniels and Adam Davies all in this pack. Nick Bailey, what's he going to be able to do on the inside of Riches? No, Garside's got the momentum on him. Nice move, David Garside. Oh, there was a bit of banging. Jay Daniels is off the road. Can he get it? Oh, how did he get that back under control? Oh, and that's who was that? Chris Callahan taking out a braking board. It's still going. And now he's got Jack Dan on his tail. So good to see Jack Dan up and running. And also Brendan Van Heeden is still with us. Hopefully his technical problems don't persist. Alex Rhodes is having an argument with Toby Owen now for 5th position. John Nobbs has gotten ahead of them. Oh, that's a big old slide from Rhodes. And an even bigger slide from Commentator Kurtz for Brendan Van Heeden. But he does manage to keep the car under control. Nicely done. Let's check in with everybody up front. Carl Benson leads by 3 seconds from Andrew Gillow. Oh, he's got himself about 8/10 lead over Alex Jameson. Well, well, well. That's a rare thing indeed. John Nobbs 4, so 3 out of the top 4 are Beamers. And then you've got this 3-way battle for 5th. Toby Owen leads Alex Rhodes, leads Brendan Van Heeden. Brendan really can look at the pile of pressure on. We really didn't see much of Brendan last time around. He just stationary on the line. Ooh, trying to squeeze past the BMW. Oh no, the beamer's off. I'm not sure. Couldn't really tell from that angle whether there was impact there. I suspect there was because Brendan has allowed Alex back into position. Very sporting of Brendan Van Heeden there. Look at the battle for 2nd rages on as Carl Benson is continuing to stretch his legs up front, but Jameson cannot find a way past Andrew Gillow at the moment. 7 minutes or just under remaining of this race. I love how Andrew just kicks the tail of the BMW out. I'm a big fan of the BMW, but I cannot make it dance like that. Well, I can, but just not very successfully. Ooh! Jameson gives Gillow a little bit of a nudge there, but nothing too disastrous. They were at a very slow speed at the time. Let's check in with this battle here. Oh, that's Garside having a go at Kev Straw for... no, it's Kev Straw? It was for 11th position. It's gone a bit deep. No, he's much... Beg your pardon, Mark Holmes. I thought that was Kev Straw's car. Beg your pardon. Kev Straw is behind them. Oh, Mark Holmes! Big slide! That's what Gary Cooper did last time around. But he's managed to keep it out of the wall and kept the Astra going. There is Kev Straw with Jack down for company. Jack with a lovely outside manoeuvre coming through Palmer. The Merc's going to have the inside line for Williams. Who's going to win out on that? There is Adam Davies right behind them. Kev Straw keeps the momentum going. Oh! Nearly side by side again. Jameson and Gillone for second place. I think Carl Benson has lost a little bit of time. Nothing too catastrophic. Oh, wrong camera. As we go on the bumper cam, you'll really see how close they are. Oh, Jameson thinking about going side by side, coming through the first turn. He's committed. Who's going to have the momentum? Gillone's managed to defend it again. What a great defensive drive from Andrew Gillone. Brilliant stuff. Jameson is doing everything right to try and get past, but Gillone is doing everything right to prevent the move. Absolutely brilliant. Miles Dixon getting onto the back of Alex Rhodes for 7th place. Who's chasing Van Heeden? Oh, McRae Williams, the birthday boy himself, into the pits. He's had an argument with something. The car doesn't look damaged, but I'm assuming it is. Otherwise, well, why would he be in there? Jameson again. Oh, he's twitchy. But does manage to keep the BMW under control. He's trying to get the inside line for Williams. This could be the defining moment for second. Can he get it done? He's had to get out of the throttle a little bit, not to slam into the side of Andrew Gillone. Side by side now. Andrew's going to have the inside line in the 99 car. The 3 M Sport BMW of Alex Jameson is continuing to move. McRae Williams has retired his car. And can Gillone return the favour? Yes, he can. But can he defend it through Nelson? Yes, he does. Unbelievable. Andrew Gillone has twice, well, as many more times, just twice we've seen. Whoa! Jameson tries to dive on the inside of Gillone. That could have been nasty, but both drivers brilliantly defending the position, but Gillone's gone deep. Gillone's gone deep and Murray's, but oh, goodness me, Jameson was too tight, did not have the momentum to capitalise. There's John Nobbs behind them. He is 3 seconds behind, so he could, if these two tangle, get involved in this battle for second place. Jameson again sizing up a manoeuvre, going into Riches, but doesn't go for it. Oh, Gillone's gone a bit too deep. Can he get that one back on the road? Jameson's dived on the inside for Montreal. He's gone too deep and Gillone's going to come back underneath him. Absolutely brilliant racing from these two BMWs. There's a whole field of 23 cars and I'm concentrating on 2 of them. I absolutely promise you this isn't favouritism. I'm well aware that Andrew Gillone, I kind of pointed him in this direction. He's a friend of mine, but even still, I think you'll agree this is incredible racing as Jameson dives on the inside of Agostini. He has finally wrested that second position from Andrew Gillone, and he went deep to try and cut the momentum off from Gillone to try and cut back underneath him, which he's successfully done. My goodness me. And now we will see Jameson run off, but there's only 2.5 minutes to go. And Carl Benson, who we haven't really looked at too much since he's gained the lead, is, well, unless he flies off the road, he's got 3.7 seconds and only really 2 laps to hang on to it. Oh, wow, what an incredibly intense battle for second position that was. Let's jump a little bit further down the field. Here's Dixon on the back of Rhodes. Oh, Miles Dixon didn't have such a good turn through Williams. You can see just about ahead of them is Brendan Van Heeden. He's on for a decent finish here. As long as technical problems or driving mistake does not befall him. A little bit laggy, I think, coming through that turn, but he's on for a good finish. Oh, Dixon had a look on the inside of Alex Rhodes. They're coming down to the crater, but did not commit to the move. Behind them, Jay Daniels and Nick Bailey arguing over 9th. There's a 3-way fight here with Matt Webb, Ollie Sy and Colin Dunn. Great driving there. Right behind them is Adam Davies and Chris Callahan having a fight for 17th position. And there you go. Look at the distance that already Jameson has built over Alex Gillone. 2 seconds in just a single lap. 53.6. Once again, Jameson asserting his authority. But I don't think even he is going to be able to close that gap down enough to overhaul what will be, I believe, the first win for Carl Benson. Jumping back to... So this group shuffled around. Oh, that's Miles Dixon slowing down. There's definitely been something going on there, because Daniels now leads Bailey, leads Dixon, leads Rhodes. So that pretty much our whole pack's just turned around. Here's a great fight though, as we ride on board with Colin Dunn. He's chasing Ollie Sy, who's chasing Matt Webb, who's chasing David Garside, who's chasing Jack Dam. Great fight there forming in the closing stages of the race, but jumping back up to Carl Benson, the checker flag will fall before he gets there, and he's got himself just under a couple of seconds lead. There is Alex Jameson chasing him hard, but Carl Benson can afford just to drive at 99.7% to bring that one home into the lead. The checkered flag is out, and this will be a very well deserved win. And he navigates Murray's quite nicely. And your winner for the second race of round 2 here at Snetterton is the ranks dropper, the baptizer. It's Carl Benson. Very nicely driven. Alex Jameson in second and sideways over the line. I was going to say you've stopped a tad short there. Oh my goodness me, because Mr. Gillone tried to do the fancy finish. He stopped short, and John Nobbs has stolen the 3rd position. Oh dear, that's why you don't showboat. Toby Owen 5th position. Brendan Van Heeden brings it home in 6th. Nicely done. Let's have a quick check of the penalties. Well, nothing major. Oh, well, 40 seconds for Jack Dam. So again, that one will be under appeal, I have no doubt. So Jay Daniels in 7th place. Great effort there. Nick Bailey 8th, Alex Rhodes 9th, Miles Dixon 10th, Mark Holmes 11th, Ollie Sy 12th. Look at that pack that he was in. It's a shame we couldn't, or shame we didn't look at that a little bit more. Then it's Matt Webb, Colin Dunn, David Garside, Adam Davies, Chris Callahan, Jack Dan, who's still falling through the field, Kev Straw, and then Sean Morty. I keep having it as Simon Morty. It's not. It's Sean Morty. Backwards over the line is Simon Adams. Simon Williams. I'm so sorry. And another flashy finish there from Adam Bent. And Gary Cooper. Look at the damage on his car. A very wounded Renault comes over the line to complete the field. So there it is again. Carl Benson taking that top spot. A 53 flat from Alex Jameson, and he apparently wasn't too confident with his performance here before the race. Goodness me. But 3 drivers this time into the 53s. So a great effort there from Carl Benson. And Andrew Gillone. Okay, everyone's name wrong, apologies. Toby Owen, Brendan Van Heeden, Jay Daniels, Nick Bailey, Alex Rhodes, and Miles Dixon rounds out the top 10. Holy moly. Absolutely amazing stuff here at Snetterton, and we have one more to go. So again, don't go anywhere. We'll have a short break, and then we will have race number 3, which will be preceded by another 15-minute qualifying session right here at Snetterton. Don't go anywhere, because I think it's going to be a good one. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the final race of the round two of the second round of the VTCC. We're just loading into the session now. So let's head trackside, and then we will get this last qualifying session underway. 23 drivers with us. I believe Ollie Sy is the missing one. Hopefully he'll be able to join us before it is too late. Otherwise we will just have the 23 drivers with us for this final round. But I have no doubt we will have some amazing racing nonetheless. Matt Webb straight out onto the field. Gray Williams, birthday boy himself in car 56. David Garside. Simon Adams. I did it again. Why is it Simon Adams? Simon Williams. Beg your pardon. I'm mixing up the names again. Andrew Gillone. Who's slide away his antics. Cost him a podium spot in the previous race. Van Heeden. Oh dear. Oh, he's practicing a start. An interesting time to do that, Mr. Van Heeden. Bailey coming out onto the track. Well, everybody except for Jack Dan and Toby Owen. Let's come out. So then, as mentioned, 15 minutes for qualifying for the final 15-minute race. And what a series of races we have had thus far. Absolutely incredible. Who shall we follow? Here's Mr. Knobs. There he is. Coming down to Agostini. With Nick Bailey right behind him. I managed to commentator curse him off the road last night, so it's probably not a good idea to follow him. David Garside. Why not? Let's have a run with it. Actually, no. I know why. Lewis Kevstraw. There he is. Kevstraw, one of our featured races for the... Unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to feature our featured races. Jay Daniels, Kevstraw, and I've actually forgotten who the other one was. The other one was Ollie Sy, who sadly isn't with us for this final round. But sadly, I didn't get any details of anyone except for Mr. Straw. So, he is from a little village in North Yorkshire, married with one daughter, started racing cars in his mature years, been racing now since 2015 with the 750 Motor Club. He races in the Locust Formula, built his own car from scratch to do all his own setups and repairs as well as his own engines. Not the fastest on the grid, but do enjoy the challenges that come with it. Next weekend, when did he send me this? Sent me this on Thursday, so I'm assuming he means next week. Racing at Snetterton on the 200 circuit, where there is a full grid of 35 cars, so should be mayhem. Well, considering how much mayhem we've had with 24 cars, yes, I dare say that the shorter version of this is going to be just as bonkers. For your information, if I bring up the map, the difference between the 200 and the 300 version is really hard to see. Actually, where Kevstraw is currently turning, you'll see that we're there. You see where those cones are. Oh, well, that's Simon Williams flying off the road. That area there isn't coned off, and from the Montreal hairpin, so turn 3, cuts through to this straight, so it cuts out the infield section of the full circuit. That's the difference between the 300 version, which we're running, and the 200 version, where Kevstraw is going to be running next weekend. All this after being sidelined due to a back injury last year, so have not raced since March 2019 at Donington. Only had a couple of top 10 finishes so far, best being at Cadwell Park. That's a hellishly hard circuit, where he was 8th position. As the fields are so big, that's a massive achievement for me. Well, yeah, I'd say. Fair play to you, Mr. Straw. Although not being on the podium racing full-size cars. When I was younger, I used to race radio control 1/8 stock cars. In 1989, became world champion and 1990 European and British champion. Regular And regular on the podium around Europe. Nicely done, Kev Straw. We have some times. Oh, well, well, well. Mr. Gillone has found some extra pace, getting into the 52s now. That's very much Alex Jameson territory. So then, does Will Jameson have an answer to that? That's going to be interesting. But where is it? Whoa, that's Alex Rhodes going for a bit of grass cutting. Where has he done that? That's on the way down to Magastini. There's Jameson. 53.7, which is a damn good time for mere mortals. So so that cut through there, you can see at the top right of the screen is where the cut from, well, the difference between the 300 and the 200 circuit is. Just to highlight that one. Alex Jameson now down into 9th position with lots more times on the board. Currently, pole position is Andrew Gillone with that 52.9. That's a stonking time in the BMW. Brendan Van Heeden back in the pits with a 53.1. Great time. John Nobbs also a good time, 53.3. Puts him in 3rd. Alex Jameson now up to 4th with a 53.7. I was looking at the wrong Alex, was my earlier on. Yeah, more than likely. Oh no, I think he did fall down in the order. Either way, currently sits in 4th with a 53.782. Miles Dixon, great effort there in the Renault. A 53.8 sees him in 5th. Then it is our previous race winner, Carl Benson, 53.837. Look at that. 300ths of a second between himself and Miles Dixon. He sits in 6th. Nick Bailey, 54.1 in 7th. Tobio in 54.2 in 8th. Jay Daniels, a 54.3 in 9th. And Alex Rhodes just coming over the line with a 54.5. His previous lap sees him in 10th. Does he improve this time around? He does not. Who should we have a look at? Well, there's John Nobbs just coming through Coram, now into Murray's, being followed by Jay Daniels. Does Nobbs improve? Screaming down towards the start and finish line, 53.321 his time. He does not improve, remains in 3rd position. I'm amazed that Van Heeden hasn't come out again, but maybe he feels that that is the most he's going to extract. That's a stonking time of 53.199. There is Andrew Gillone. Continuing on his way, John Nobbs has returned to the pit. Whereas Jameson, he's just gone through Murray's. What can he do? 53.7. We've seen him lap quicker than this already. Still time on the board. And no improvement for Jameson. No improvement yet. He has time. There's Dixon. Coming through Williams onto the Bentley Straights. I didn't see who that was ahead of him. The cockpit cam works properly for the Astra. It'll work properly for all the 3 front-wheel drive cars. That's Colin Dunn, Mr. Fishwick. There he is. The reason why it's out of position for the BMW is I was messing about with the camera settings in the BMW and it's actually kept that setting. There's Gillone. He is coming through Coram. You see how he backs off and just lets the car roll to lose pace. He doesn't want to brake and turn at the same time. His revs quite low, or judging by the sound of it, but that could be his gear ratio. 52.926 his time, and that is where it remains. Where's Jameson? Well, it looks like he's just gone through Oggies there. He is absolutely throwing the car through Williams. He wants that top spot, and he wants it now. John Nobbs coming back out on track. There's Callahan right in front of John Nobbs with David Garside. Whoa, Garside getting a little airy coming through Nelson. Callahan chasing Gary Cooper, who had a mare of a race in round 2. There's Mr. Cooper. There he is, 7th position. Oh, a bit of a lock up through Murray's. There's Jay Daniels. He's in the pits, currently 10th with a 54.3. Kev Straw. Where's Mr. Straw? There he is. 58.5. Oh, struggling a bit in the Mercedes. And what a surprise. Mr. Jameson has done it again. A 52.3 to take that pole spot by 6/10 of a second. The man is just unstoppable. It falls to Gillone to try and do something about it. Van Heeden. He's practiced starting again. Oh wow, that bogs down quite badly, doesn't it? Well, I mean, Andrew Gillone really demonstrated in the first race the benefit of a good start. I mean, it was very much helped by the fact that Alice Jameson had an absolutely diabolical start. It tends to go that way in these touring cars. You either have an absolute flyer or you just bog down and hope you don't get absolutely murdered. Oh, John Nobbs having an argument with... Who was that? Was it Colin Dunn? It was. Oh, lovely slide from John there through Murray's. He's probably going to have lost some time going around the blue and green BMW, and yeah, he didn't gain anything there. 53.321 still his best time. There's Miles Dixon, there he is. Kev Straw, one of our feature drivers for this week, is improved to 57.6 for the Mercedes. Sees him in 20th spot. There's Jay. There he is, 54.3, beg your pardon. Sees him in 10th position. Oh, that's one way to do Nelson. I keep wanting to say Pekin. That's not the quickest way of going through Nelson, I would have thought. A few people back in the pits. Carl Benson, Toby Owen, Matt Webb, McCree Williams, and Simon Adams. I did it again! Simon Williams! I seem to confuse different people's names different weeks. 52.166 for Alex Jameson. He's still improving that monstrous pole time. Goodness me. Last week it was Brendan Van Heeden and Carl Benson I was getting the wrong way around. Now Simon Williams is becoming magically Simon Adams. I'm trying to work out who it is I'm muddling his name with. And I genuinely don't know. We don't have an Adams in this series. We had an Adam in the form of Adam Davies. But well, such as Brendan Van Heeden still trying to get practice starts going. That's a bit better. A bit of wheel spin is absolutely fine in these cars. With John Nobbs, Miles Dixon, and Carl Benson back in the pits. Whoa, that was someone flying off the road just as I cut away there to Williams, to Nelson rather. Gary Cooper up to 7th of the 53.9, which will hopefully stand him in better stead for the final round. Jameson is still pounding around there, still trying to find time, amazingly. Interesting when you listen to Jameson's engine, it always seems very high revving when, you know, listening to the likes of Andrew Gillone, seems to go for a lower engine rev, or comparatively speaking at least. And Jameson, once again, every time we look at him, we observe he's just able to glide. Is that Van Heeden again? It was Brendan Van Heeden doing some more practice starts. No improvement there from Jameson. He's got time for 2 more laps. Yep, it was indeed Brendan Van Heeden. He's set a decent time, and he obviously feels he can't improve that 53.1. He doesn't have time to now, but he's doing some practice starts, trying to do what he can to extract the best from the start. Where is Gillone? That looks a little cautious through Nelson. He's got time to complete this lap and start another. And Jameson is back in the pits. His qualifying is done. It will inflict no more pain upon this field. Jay Daniels currently in 8th place with a 54.0. Bailey, 9th position, 54.1. And Gillone's come back to the bits. He can do no more. 52.926. Oh no, we've lost one. We have lost one from the race, from the lineup. Don't know who, I'm afraid. Well, it's too late for them to return. Oh, Bailey! That's gone wrong for Nick Bailey, unfortunately. It's unlikely that Nick Bailey will improve now. I'm not very good at extracting who it is we've lost from the list. So, we'll have to wait and see. Does Nick Bailey improve? Well, he's going to complete the lap. His best sit at 54.145. No improvement there from Nick Bailey, but he has started his lap before the checkered flag has fallen. And, okay. That's a novel way of finishing your qualifying, Nick. Now back on your wheels. Okay, what can we say about that? Jay Daniels has returned to the pit. He will not improve from 8th position or 54-0 on board. Gary Cooper has backed off. He's going to do some practice starts. Toby Owen still going. He's coming through Palmer. He's going to have Gary Cooper right ahead of him. But Gary, thankfully, is off the racing line doing his practice starts. Alex Rhodes in 11th, still going. Oh, too much. Just keeps it on the road after Hamilton. Now through Oggies. Very cautious. Through the right-hander. Now on to Williams and then the Bentley straight. Chris Callahan, no, he's done. Mark Holmes is still going in the Mercedes. And the Astra, beg your pardon. Through the crater. Colin Dunn still out there as well. Not a good run for Colin. He's not had the greatest run today at Snetterton. Will Mark Holmes improve? 57.0 his time. Let us see. This is 18th, and that is no improvement for Mark Holmes. What about Colin Dunn? No improvement for Colin either. Who's still running? Alex Rhodes. And that behind is Toby Owen, I think. Indeed. And he's backed out of it. Gary's still running. The last man to cross the line. Should make it from there with 40 seconds still on the clock. Oh, Nick Beatty is doing lawn mowing again. He's going to cross the line anyway, but he will not improve from 9th with that 54.1 on the board. Let's see then, Gary Cooper. No, he's gone in the pits. No improvement there. Well, that's a BMW. That's Alex Rhodes' BMW having an absolute party back there. So then, it's Jameson on pole once again, and it is Andrew Gillone that joins him this time. Then it's Brendan Van Heeden with that early 153.9. Gets him into row 2 along with John Nobbs. Great effort there. Miles Dixon and Carl Benson, row 3. Gary Cooper and Jay Daniels, row 4. Nick Bailey and Toby Owen, row 5. Alexander Rose and David Garside in row 6. Chris Callahan and Jack Dan, row 7. Matt Webb and Adam Bent in row 8. Sean Morty and Mark Holmes, row 9. Colin Dunn and Kev Straw, row 10. And McRae Williams and Simon Williams, correct myself before I say it, on the tail of the field. Final race then. Final 15 minutes of chaos and anarchy, I'm sure, await us. Will Alex Jameson get a decent start this time? It was really the start that just completely ruined his first race. He just then got stuck in traffic whilst Andrew Gillone just absolutely ran off into the distance. And by the time that Jameson got through the traffic, he could not overhaul that lead. Benson, winner of round 2. Starting, where is he? There he is in 6th. I didn't notice that. He's got his YouTube channel name, Carl Benson. There he is on the bonnet. Hadn't noticed that until now. But then generally he's going too fast for me to look at the smaller details in the liveries. The liveries look absolutely great. Love how the cars look. Less than a minute to go before we get this final race of tonight. Oh, never mind. Everyone's readied up. 22 drivers will take the start for this final race of the evening. It is time. Here we go. Wind them up and let them go. A much better start from Jameson. And Gillone once again is at a belter. Oh, look at John Nobbs, though. He's catapulted off the line as these three beamers scream through the first turn in their starting positions. Oh, look at Van Heeden, beg your pardon, looking to dethrone John Nobbs from the podium positions. Whoa, that's Gary Cooper getting very, very leery, trying to kill the cameraman. It does look like Oh, Jay Daniels has had trouble. I was just about to say it looks like everyone survived it. Jay Daniels has had a bit of a mare. Everybody else does look like they have survived the opening few turns. Jameson starting to run off into the distance. Already, Andrew is having to fend off Brendan Van Heeden, who has gotten past John Nobbs. Brendan is absolutely flying this time around. He means business. Nobbs 4. Benson up to 5th position. Miles Dixon has got Gary Cooper for company. Well, everyone has got everyone for company at this stage. Someone's kicking up a bit of dust. Oh no, that's Toby Owen that's going for a very unusual line. Can he slow it down? Hits the curb, puts Jack Dan off, but does manage to make it back without any major incident. As we go on board with a meaningful camera, as the cameraman gets lost at that particular point for some reason. Chris Callahan cuts back underneath Jack Dan. Look at this, 3 wide on the back straight. Oh my days, this could go horribly wrong. That's the view from Matt Webb. We need one further back. Nick Bailey, who's trying to really muscle in. Look at this, 4 wide coming down towards Brundle. This could go horribly wrong. Yep, there's impact there. Bailey is in trouble. Oh, there's lots of door banging going on. Goodness me, someone's flown off the road. Who was that flew off? It wasn't you. It was Adam Bent. Adam Bent flew off the road. Partly in avoidance, in fairness, of all the festivities going on. Back up front, Alex Jameson beginning to build a lead. We already have penalties on the board. 1 second for John Nobbs, 2 for Brendan Van Heeden. We look at Gary Cooper. He's looking at the back of Miles Dixon, who is really looking to mean business with Carl Benson. The only man not under pressure at the moment is Jameson. Oh, that's Van Heeden that's gone a little bit too deep at Montreal. Look at this. We look at John Nobbs. He's actually got himself, almost equidistant between himself, Van Heeden, and Benson. But look at Carl Benson, though. Lot of pressure there. That's actually, let's go to the roof cap from Gary Cooper. We can see the top 7. Oh, Gary's a little deep at Magazzini. He'll get away with that one, though. Broadly speaking. And a 3-way battle here. That is Jack Dan in the middle of Toby Owen and Chris Callahan. An almighty great group here that Colin Dunn is on the back of. There's Bailey, Garside. Well, Bailey and Garside have just swapped round. Oh, there is Garside getting a bit squiggly. Oh, it's a little bit deep coming through Oggies. But does keep it under control. Oops! Who's that? That's Nick Bailey again. Nick Bailey is struggling. Really, really struggling. Oh, that's a highly unusual line, Mr. Bailey. On the ground? On the road? You know, the black bit that's right next to you. You'll find that a bit more grippy. I suspect, by the way that bumper is flapping around, that he's struggling to steer that. Oh! Who on earth was that was going for a bit of a wander? Was that Adam? No, I don't think it was Adam Bent again. Ah, it was Mr. Morty. It was Sean Morty that was taking an unusual route. Top 3 beginning to spread out now. Alex Jameson with a 2-second lead up front. 52.3 already on the board. Andrew Gillow in 2nd place. He's got 0.8 of a second over Brendan Van Heeden. Then a bit of a battle here. The Gary Cooper just flown past Miles Dixon as he's gone too deep into the first turn. Gary then up to 6th position, and that is Nick Bailey bringing his car into the pits, unsurprisingly. Yeah, Kev Straw is struggling somewhat, but yeah, that was a problem for Nick Bailey. I'm sure he hasn't stopped. Nick Bailey has completely missed his pit crew. So he's now going to limp that car that doesn't seem to want to steer straight around for another lap. That's the view from Dixon, as he can see pretty much everyone that's directly ahead of him. Can't quite see Jameson, he's run off, as is the norm. Gary Cooper, then the cameraman's loft, is right on the case of John Nobbs. Great battle there for 5th position. Van Heeden is doing what he can to hang on to the back of Andrew Gillow. There is Jameson going through the shot, continuing to open up his lead. Considering where Benson was starting, that's a great run. It was a 6th, I think he started, up to 4th with Nobbs and Cooper right behind him. 2 very, very quick drivers. He's got about a couple of seconds to close into Van Heeden, who's just touched the grass, I think. Who's right on the back, or was, as they came through Murray's, of Andrew Gillow. But, of course, Andrew getting on the gas earlier doesn't enable him to get away, but looking at the lap times, Van Heeden definitely gained about 3/10 on Andrew last time around. Oh, look at this! John Nobbs and Gary Cooper really scrapping for 5th place as we're using Miles Dixon as a camera car. John Nobbs has gone a little bit deep in Montreal. Whoa! Dixon tried to cut her underneath the BMW and has the door very, very much slammed in his face from John Nobbs. Oh, I've just seen the penalty there. Oh my goodness, a pair of 2 wides coming into Riches. Alex Rose with the reshaping BMW, as that is Mark Holmes has just gone past him. McRae Williams ahead of him, Jay Daniels ahead of him up in 16th place, and right behind is Adam Bent. Oh no, and Adam Bent clouts the back of birthday boy McRae Williams. Presses on nonetheless, up into 19th place. Oh, Gary Cooper! We didn't quite see what happened before then, but Gary Cooper's had... Now, either he returned to track, which caused him to bounce like that, or he had an awful kind of accident we really didn't see. That may be another one for the stewards to look at. Fairly unchanged up front as they're hitting their strides. But that's allowed Benson to completely shake his pursuers. As John Nobbs... Well, I think Nobbs and Dixon were probably... Nobbs and Cooper were caught up in some kind of incident. John Nobbs was able to continue, but Miles Dixon has benefited from that, now up into 6th position. Toby Owen is comparatively on his own, perfectly equidistant between Gary Cooper and Jack Dan. Jack Dan, however, has got Chris Callahan for company in 9th place. Garside with Matt Webb as well. Just coming through Murray's. Sean Morty, a little bit on his own there. Colin Dunn and Simon Williams fighting for a 14th position. Jay Daniels looking to get involved in that fight as well. Gray Williams a little bit on his own. There he is, just going through the shot. That is Nick Bailey, just losing a spot to Alex Rhodes. And Kev Straw, there he is. Tail of the field. So perhaps Nick Bailey did actually stop last time around. Or he came through the pits. He could have had a drive-through penalty, but he's definitely got damage to the front of his car. Oh! Van Heeden, that's an unusual line coming through Oggies. That's going to cost him time and a potential penalty there. You can see the time that's cost him to Andrew Gillan alone. And time is flying away. That's going to give a great potential for Carl Benson to be on the podium once again. Looking at Gary Cooper, he's still keeping Miles Dixon for company after that issue that he's had. It's been a very mixed night for Gary Cooper. Oh, penalties again. There's John Nobbs swap with... No, he was... Oh, no, I tell you what, when the swap... I knew there was a position change here. Carl Benson's gotten ahead of Carl Van Heeden. Carl Benson has gotten ahead of Brendan Van Heeden. I knew I'd get their names wrong at some point in the evening. And Carl Benson now up into 3rd position, so Brendan Van Heeden has made a mistake somewhere. Yeah, 59 seconds on the board. And that's not penalty because he already had that 2-second penalty previously. So he's flown off the road somewhere, which sadly I didn't see. John Nobbs is hanging on to the back of that as best he can. Didn't mind Gary Cooper though, because he is keeping pace with Miles Dixon. Well, he was about 8/10 quicker than Miles last time around. And Miles doing a pretty good job there in 6th position. Oh, he's gone too deep though at Palmer. Very, very easy to do. Surely Gary Cooper is going to get through on the inside of Agostini. That's a fairly textbook manoeuvre for the red Renault. That is 6th position for Gary. Chris Callahan keeping Jack Dan company in 10th place. Battle for 9th between those two. And that's a pit for Alex Rhodes. That's a huge shame. Oh, there's Mr. Garside keeping Matt Webb company. That is a battle for 11th place. 4 minutes to go. Where's our race leader? There he is. Alex Jameson. Car number 3 continues to blast around the field, and we'll start the penultimate lap upon the next crossing. There in the background of the shot is newcomer to the series. Certainly not new to sim racing. A newcomer to this series of Andrew Gillow. Carl Benson, what a night he's had. Winner of the random grid race and looks to set to be on the podium this time around. Once again, a mixed night for Brendan, but on the whole, a better night. Well, certainly, being this far up the field, hopefully he doesn't have another technical trouble. Brendan Van Heeden. Oh, that's Alex Rhodes. He's just got to get out of the way, which of course he does. You can just see the damage on the front of his car. There goes Van Heeden. And there's John Nobbs. Miles Dixon has not lost the back of Gary Cooper. So it was here where they swapped around last time. This could be interesting if Alex Rhodes gets caught up in this particular fight. Ooh, bit of a lock up there from Gary Cooper, but does manage to keep Miles behind him. 2.5 minutes to go. We'll have one more lap after this one. And then that is tonight's festivities done as Gary runs a little bit wide. Jack Dan and Chris Callahan have swapped round. Chris now up into 9th place, probably the same way that Gary Cooper earned his spot in the braking zone of Agostini. Simon Williams on the back of Colin Dunn. A second apart, but Simon's still close enough to pick up a mistake, or pick up if Colin makes a mistake, I should say. Here's Kev Straw. He's keeping Bailey company. Ooh, now John Nobbs is starting to close in a bit on Brendan Van Heeden. 9/10 apart at the moment. Over the line to start the final lap. Alex Jameson doing Alex Jameson things. Just increasing likely a 53-1 on the board for him. And Andrew Gillone doing simply what he needs to do to bring the car home. Look at that, 54.6 for both Gillone and Benson. Heeden, a 55.2. John Nobbs gained 1.1 seconds on Brendan last lap. There's Jameson. That's not Jameson, that's Alex Rhodes, beg your pardon. Callahan and Jack Dan still having an argument. They've swapped around again since I last looked at them. Jack Dan back up into 9th. Here comes Callahan. Oh, I thought he was going to banzai that on the inside of Montreal, but doesn't go for it. Just going into the shot there. There's the next battle. That's Mark Webb and David Garside arguing over 11th spot. Behind them is Sean Morty and Jade. Oh, that's Alex Rhodes continuing to struggle in that very, very wounded BMW. Still Callahan and Dan continuing their argument for 9th place. The Garside continuing to keep, well, he's been keeping the pressure on Mark Webb for quite a while. Simon Williams is still thereabouts behind Colin Dunn. Oh, bit of a lock up there. Checker flag is about to fall. And it falls now. Well, we've said this once or twice, but we will say it again, and well earned, in fairness. Well, they all are, to be fair. Alex Jameson is your winner for race number 3 here at Snetterton. Andrew Gillone. Yeah, you have every right to be happy about that, good sir. Second position. Third, Carl Benson, another podium. Great effort. Brendan Van Heeden comes home 4th. John Nobbs 5th. Gary Cooper in 6th position. Miles Dixon will cross the line in 7th. Toby Owen, good result there in 8th. Jack Dan has fought off the pressure from Chris Callahan to come home 9th. Does the penalty reverse it? It does. Chris Callahan inherits that 9th position. David Gus, oh blimey, hit the penalties again. That was a 4-second penalty for Jack Dan. So that puts David Garside in 11th. Mark Webb in 12th. Jay Daniels 13. Sean Morty comes across the line ahead initially of Mr. Fishwick. Colin Dunn, but Colin in 14th. Simon Williams in 15th. He did it again. Morty down to 16th. There is Mark Holmes in 17th. Adam Bent comes across the line, wiggling away in 18th place. McCree Williams charges over the line ahead of Kev Straw, 19th and 20th. And Nick Bailey, with that very wounded car, brings up the tail of the field. Wow. Wasn't quite as chaotic, but it was still a great race. Alex Jameson taking the win, as mentioned. And of course, he takes the fight up, the only man into the 52s, and well into it he was indeed. Alex Jameson, another dominant performance there. As then it is Andrew Gillone 2, Carl Benson 3, Brendan Van Heeden 4, John Nobbs 5, Gary Cooper 6, Miles Dixon 7, Toby Owen 8, Chris Callahan 9, and Jack Dan rounds out the top 10. And that is the end of tonight's festivities. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being with us throughout the stream. A great pleasure to have you on board. And we will be back next week for more craziness and action. Until then, thank you very much and good night!